I've debated whether or not I want to do any politics stuff on this channel for a while now. Last week I kind of got to a breaking point and a lot of things are frustrating me. I'm going to kind of narrow it down to like one-ish kind of topic on this video, which is kind of like, government control of our lives and shit like that. Probably not going to read the comment section of this video, just so you guys know. Honestly, I don't really read the comments much anymore anyways, but yeah, it's probably going to be, pretty much people on both sides of the fence that I might not agree with, because honestly, like, I'm definitely on one side of the fence, but I'm more moderate than I feel like a lot of people these days. So let's talk about that in this video. So I will start off, I guess, since everybody wants to say, oh, you're not a health expert if you talk on the internet. Yeah, I'm not a health expert, but, I go to multiple sources. I don't just get all my information from CNN like a lot of people these days. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Don't get all your mainstream news media to give you all of your information. Even CNN, CBS, ABC, they're still heavily biased. And you want me to show you an example why I know? This is something I may have not mentioned on this channel before, but here's my Bachelor's of Arts in Journalism. So that's mine. Went to college for 4 years, and I know a couple things about journalism. I don't work in journalism right now, and there's multiple reasons for that. First off, it doesn't really pay great. Hours are garbage. Really, journalism is kind of a shit job, to be honest with you. A couple of the parts of journalism sound great, but in reality, wasn't for me. That's why I work in IT. But I still have a lot of knowledge in there, and I feel like I'm a pretty good source. So like whenever I get my information, of course, sometimes I listen to, CNN, or well, not CNN actually. I actually don't really have cable, so I can't really even listen to CNN if I wanted to, but CBS, NBC, local and national for those, publishers or publications or whatever you want to call them, news stations. Also like CDC, I love Joe Rogan. He's a great, he actually brings scientists on to a show where, you can actually listen to like the news from the source, not, through somebody's eyes, through selective, ways of finding news and stuff like that. And I try to break it up. I mean, I listen to the Daily Wire, but like I also, there's definitely many liberal sources that I go to as well, just to mix it up, because, you want to hear from all angles on issues instead of just one angle. And that kind of brings up one of my first topics, is the government wants to control misinformation, and they don't want people to talk about certain things. So like one example is Joe Rogan got COVID like 2 weeks ago, and he took ivermectin to basically fight off that. He took a lot of other things as well, but if you listen to his podcast where he talked to Weinstein or something like that, I forget which doctor it was, but he basically got COVID, he didn't have the shot, and he fought it off within like 3 or 4 days, and then he was back in the gym right after that. And people don't want to talk about how he took ivermectin to get COVID to go away, because ivermectin is it's a generic drug. It's been around since the 70s, I believe, and it actually treats a lot of things. It doesn't just treat horse deworming, even though if you listen to mainstream news media, that's what they tell you. Ivermectin is great on many things, and if you take it in a reasonable dose, it's not going to hurt you, even if you really don't need it. I feel like it's kind of like zinc, so I take like Zicam whenever I'm getting a cold, but like even like if I think I might be getting a cold, I just take a Zicam. I mean, it's not going to hurt me, if I have a little bit extra zinc in there. At least, I don't know. If you guys want to say something about that in the comment section, feel free. But basically what I'm trying to say is the government shouldn't want to control misinformation. Facebook shouldn't want to control misinformation. We have the First Amendment that protects freedom of speech, and I think we need to fight for that right to have freedom of speech. I don't care if somebody wants to say that the earth is flat, if people want to say fucking anything, it's their right as an American citizen to say whatever they want on any platform they want as well. Whenever Facebook and Twitter were like a year or two old, sure, you could make the argument that they're a publisher, like not a platform. But like at this point, they're trying to say that they're a platform where they do no censoring, so they have a lot less restrictions and stuff like that. But they're actually a publisher because they control, misinformation and all this other crap. So that's the first thing. And Joe Biden's presidency and like his cabinet and all that stuff, they have vouched for control of misinformation, and I think that is beyond ridiculous. But of course, the big topic here is what happened last week. So Joe Biden said that any corporation that has more than 100 people has to have proof of vaccination for all those people, or they have to get weekly COVID tests. Now, it's kind of up in the air, if they have to get those like weekly COVID tests, like if they have to pay for them themselves. I mean, like that'd be kind of ridiculous because, COVID tests, hell, from around my area in like Central Illinois, like if you have to pay for it and your insurance doesn't cover it, it's like, I've heard upwards of like $200 a pop, which is absolutely ridiculous. So like, obviously that's forcing people just to get the shot because it's free. And I mean, what else are they going to do? Like just go on unemployment right as soon as all the government benefits are going away? Like it's ridiculous. And people think it's just Republicans that haven't been getting the shot. A lot of minorities haven't been getting the shot. So in reality, what Joe Biden did honestly could be easily be construed as racist. Easily. Because I mean, they're calling all the new voter restrictions racist to have voter ID because minorities don't have IDs. Well, minorities don't have the vaccine in a large part, and do your research on this, don't just listen to me. But, I mean, I've heard this from multiple sources, so, I mean, that's why I'm talking about this. And, I could put some sources on this, but do I really want to go through all that effort? No. How about you guys do your own goddamn work and go fucking Google some shit yourself? So basically, Joe Biden's being racist by putting that into place, and also, it's just not being American. In America, you're free to pretty much do whatever you want. I mean, obviously there's restrictions on this, but like there's never been, there's never been like a rule that like you have to get like the flu shot, which honestly I would consider the COVID shot a lot closer to the flu shot if you're really talking to me, because the COVID shot doesn't fully protect you from getting COVID. Obviously, there's been many breakthrough cases. If you look at data from Israel, which has a very high vaccination rate, a lot of people have been getting COVID there because, I mean, just do your own goddamn research. But, basically the COVID shot does not protect you from COVID. It might protect you from hospitalization. It might protect you from just dying from COVID, but it doesn't protect you from getting COVID or spreading COVID, which kind of brings me to like a good point. Why do the unvaccinated people have to get vaccines to protect the vaccinated people? I mean, the vaccinated people can still spread COVID. So really, it just doesn't make any sense. And there's so much misinformation from the government. Honestly, I think the government should be censored for what the hell they're saying because they can't keep their act straight about what the hell they want to say. Like, just listen to what Biden was saying. He was saying that, like, he's sick and tired of people just not taking the damn vaccine. Why does everybody need to take the vaccine if the people that already have the vaccine are safe? So like he's really undermining the actual usefulness of the vaccine, and really the fact that he's pushing the vaccine out so much harder to people kind of just shows you that maybe the vaccine isn't perfect. I mean, if the vaccine was perfect, everybody would just get it, because why would you mess around with not getting COVID and everything? It just doesn't make sense. Ultimately, though, Biden is our president. We got to deal with him for the next, 3.5 years or whatever. I mean, the guy's Alzheimer's, and it's just sad. The guy's 78 years old. He's clearly not all there, and you just have to listen to one of his speeches to understand that point. I don't know why we have a 78-year-old running the country right now, whenever, like, if you went to, like any sort of, like, business, if there was a 78-year-old there, you'd be like, I mean, and, like, if the 78-year-old, like, wasn't, like, all there in his head, like, you'd be like, can I talk to somebody else? Like, like, it's just absolute, like, dog shit, and I can't believe that people are putting up with this. It's absolute bonkers. One final question that, I'll just leave it up as a hypothetical question for all you guys, but, so the mandate that Biden put into place last week, where it says companies with more than 100 employees have to, either be vaccinated or to show weekly COVID tests. First off, the weekly COVID test thing, I mean, like, what if you get tested on, like, a Friday, and then you're good until the Thursday of the next week? So, basically, according to what Biden said, what if you get COVID that weekend, and then you go back to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you get everybody sick? That doesn't make any sense at all. So it's kind of like a half-baked decision as far as I'm concerned. Also, why companies with 100 plus people? So like companies with 99 people can't get COVID. Also, like when you're eating in a restaurant and you're sitting at your table, you can't get COVID. You know, none of this shit makes sense, and it's just the government trying to control you, in my opinion. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm probably not going to read it, but anyways, I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll just leave you guys with all that stuff to think about and ponder about what happened to this country and how did we get ourselves to this point, because it's a pretty sad state of affairs right now. So you guys have a good day. Bye.